Hi there. Namaste. I rarely say that anymore. It sounds cliche, like everybody's saying it. Good morning. Ah, nice, beautiful, calm day. I guess I just wanted to make a video and see what come through. There's a lot of things I want to say to everybody, and sometimes I feel like I'm wasting time when I'm doing nothing. But that's part of the path too. Relaxing, resting, knowing when to stop and when to start, when to go and when to not go. It's really interesting, everything, you know? Moving from this place to that place and figuring things out. I would like to move from this place to that place. I don't really travel very far nowadays. Live in the valley, live in Poia, go out to Haiku for dance, do different things. Not much. Still not too little either. Exercising again, feeling good. It's nice. Health is wealth, you know. Feels wonderful to have a strong physical body. Helps with all kinds of things. Now there's a lot on my mind. Well, actually, strangely, there's really not much on my mind at all, but there's a lot I want to make on my mind. So I'm trying to see if I can bring any of it out. So I know that there was something more yesterday and the day before, and right now I feel like, oh no, I'm not doing anything. I must do something. I must put out a video to the world or something of this nature, you know. Get the word out there, whatever the word is. It's maybe a struggle and trust in some way. Geez. It can be heart-wrenching, you know. It's nice and easy to follow the flow and do all those things when you have money. And when you don't have money, it's like, oh, how am I going to sustain myself? How am I going to eat? How am I going to do all these other things? Feeling motivations to do this, that, and the other, because you know that this, that, and the other may bring these kinds of things to you. It's like, But also, you know, resting deeply into the surrender of the moment. So it's like, well, you know, if I rush too far that way, I fall off the channel in a certain manner. I mean, everything's the channel, but it's just like, oh. I do know that if I do get enough energy to go in a certain direction, then that's the direction I need to go, because otherwise I wouldn't have the energy to do it. It would be impossible for me to even achieve anything that wasn't meant for me to achieve. It would be impossible for me to make a mistake in any manner. And it constantly is showing me that in every day, in every way, in new ways. And today has been a very synchronistic day. I saw 6666 on the car today, which is like, oh no, Christianity, let me be afraid. But no, it's a good angel number. And then also 44 and 27s and all these wonderful things, you know. I might have started this video at a 27, who knows for sure. 1027 perhaps. Had a thorn in my foot. It was metal. A little metal piece today. Got it out, no problem. It's another perfection. Here it is being shared with you. So maybe that's how it's perfect. Cool. The back's still healing. My shoulder blade area. Leaned over too much or something, you know. Played guitar for a long time or something. My arm in a strange way and pinched a nerve or pulled something strange. And it takes a long time to heal those tiny things, it seems. Breathing, amazing healer. Knowing you're healed, now that's a phenomenal healer right there. Just knowing you're healed. Not having to ever think about it anymore. Typically when something heals on me, I don't even realize it's healed. I just forget about it healing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's right, the thing healed. That's terrific. I wonder when that happened. Wish I would have been more observant, huh? But maybe it was the not observing it that allowed it to happen more quickly. I was having deep medicine ceremony when I healed my rotator cuff. I tore it. Couldn't lift it very well, couldn't maneuver it very well, and through dance and through breath and through medicine ceremony, it healed really beautifully. And setting intention to do so. No mistakes. Been feeling kind of down the past few days, a little bit, some way. Just not really knowing what to do. Feeling perhaps bored or just like, the flow's really slowed down. Like, I was doing a lot before. I was feeling extremely accelerated, very fast. Am I tired? I don't know. Exercising though, and getting some good progress in that way. Danced with the waves yesterday. Seeing good friends. Not feeling like my throat is as open as it was. Just tired, Tired of a lot of things, Tired of being in a band and tired of being in Plia. Tired of not having friends and all these things. There's people that like me and all that. But there's nobody that hangs out with me or cares about me, actually. But there is me, and I do care about me. But what do I do for me, Well, everything I do is for me. For all of us. For all one. So, what do I do but surrender? What do I do but follow the flow? What do I do when I've surrendered all my choices? When there's no control to be had within reality around me. A lot of the stress is the running out of money. It's like, now that there's no money, what will I do? I cannot anymore give to anybody. The ones that I did give to no longer want to be around because they seemed like they were my friends before, but now the money is gone, and so really what they wanted was to have meals for free that were really delicious, and gas money or whatever else it is that I happen to help them with, that's what they were looking for. Now I have nothing left to give, they're gone, and that's okay. This is the age-old story and age-old tale. This is something that surely anybody watching this has actually committed in their life. Unless you work all the time and then you have your money and you don't have to do that, then you're a constant giver perhaps, who knows. Or maybe you're nice and equally balanced. That'd be beautiful. How do you receive in a world that you don't desire to receive from? I receive great wisdom and abundance in this way. A lot of medicine ceremony to be had. I can be having more medicine ceremony, and perhaps that's what I need to do. Just keep having more of that. I don't have a lot of gas for my vehicle. I don't have a lot of desire to be back in the valley to have medicine ceremony there. So that's an interesting thing. Without the desire to have medicine ceremony in the valley, what would I be even doing in the valley anymore? I guess that I like it there. Part of the thing that kept me out of here is I had met a female, and she was so similar, so much almost in balance with me, that I was like, oh, yes, this is wonderful. We get to experience one another, but then it brought me back to the same reflections as always. And I'm determining these reflections. I'm like, is there something that I need to change? Is there something that I need to do? As I look at further and further and further, I just can't see how there's anything for me to do. I'm like, well, I'm not really doing anything. I'm, in fact, not doing anything constantly, even if I'm doing something. Just being authentic, and I'm allowing the channel to pour through. So I have to look at this. And this is for, perhaps anybody who will one day have these kinds of same things. I'm hoping that because I walk this path in this way, that nobody else has to, actually, and that I can just share what I've learned, and that they somehow, through osmosis, through hearing, through seeing, through feeling, empathizing, they can learn what it is that I've learned very easily, very quickly, without having to experience it. And that would be wonderful. And so I wish to transfer those teachings, obviously. All the things that I've been learning about. The motion, the breath, the amazing frequencies of energy. This reminds me of what I was talking about recently, about how I became magnetic, before I had the LSD ceremony in Colorado with the female, where we set intention, and then all of these amazing things happened. I even had telekinesis occur during that medicine ceremony. It was like static electricity was the connection between me and the objects. And the object was a pile of marijuana, ground up marijuana. And, which I had been noticing this before, that whenever I had medicine ceremony, for some reason, I try to roll tobacco, or I try to grab weed, and it would bounce away from me. It would repel from me. It's like some weird static things that happen whenever I become very high on LSD or any psychedelic medicine. So what I would learn to do is, instead of rolling anything while I was on the medicine, because it was very difficult to be bouncing away from me the whole time. Only some of them would want to stick with me. I would roll my tobacco before. I would have everything ready before I go. I'd roll my joints. I'd do whatever I could. I'd break up the marijuana. I'd have it all ready. Because if I didn't do that, it was going to be impossible or very difficult for me to, have a smoke. And I really loved to have my smokes at the time. Now I've stopped. Feel very good. And, yes, so it's really interesting. So I'm, talking about the tobacco. And so, oh yes, the medicine ceremony. And so the telekinesis. So I ran my hand above the pile like so. And as I was doing this, let's see if I can do it more like this. So I was like, say, this here is reflective of the pile, yeah. And so I ran my hand over this pile, and as I was doing this, I eventually felt, as things were bouncing away and coming back, the static cling. And so I could feel the static electricity, and I finally hit an angle like this, to where it was like, bow. And I felt a line of energy. Let me see here. Let's move it over here. So, as I was doing this, so I was going like this, and then I finally moved my hand like so, and I felt a line of energy just right here, and that was the line of energy that, for some reason, just clicked in, telling me, oh, I'm connected to this object. And so when I felt that connection, it just, for some reason, I immediately knew what that was, went very lucid in that moment, and then I just lifted my hand like this. Just lifted it up, because I was connected to it already. We were statically clung together already. And now this lifted up, but not the entire pile. Only like the midsection in an irregular pattern, and not many of, not the whole pile of broken up marijuana lifted. Part of the pile lifted up. Me and this girl watched this lift, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal to us, And then it immediately dropped just about after that. It was like, didn't lift for very long before I dropped it. But that was amazing. It was my very first experiencing telekinesis. And I thought, wow, how phenomenal is that? I remember when I went away from her later to smoke a cigarette outside while she was inside, I actually began to connect to the earth itself outside, and I was trying to lift a piece of earth, quite similar to that, but probably, a good 30 tons of earth. And I could feel it connecting to me, and I could feel it, and I could feel myself rising it. And then I started to think, all of a sudden the thought hit me, what if somebody's watching me do this right now? I'm in a campground cabin scenario. This is not something that I should be doing. So I stopped, and I freaked myself. I was like, oh, shoot. And I went back inside, and that's where I determined that I wasn't going to make good decisions unless I was near her, because we were the male and the female. We needed to be around one another to be in balance with one another, or I would get lost in the power and the energy of the amazing magnificence that is the surging sun of the male. And it was wonderful. Oh, this cute little amazing bug. I love these bugs. They're kind of like worms, but they're not worms because they have legs. But they are so cool. Some of them are worms, though. But not this one. Let me see. I wonder if you can see. Yeah, it's really cute. They look like trees. I wonder if everybody's ever even seen them. They're so tough to see sometimes. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's just such a cutie. I wish this camera was better and he was slower. He's so fast. Yeah, sweetie pie. Well, love you, friend. He's so cool. That's ourself on another part of the path. Can you believe it? There you are. How do you treat yourself? You gonna treat yourself sweetly? Or you gonna be mean to yourself? You're gonna be like, hey, that's me when I was a bug. Wow! Like, oh, geez, you just killed the crap out of yourself. That's ridiculous. I can't believe that. How ruthless. Man. Wow. Jeez. I mean, don't get me wrong. They can be annoying. They can. It can be difficult having patience, but isn't that why they're such wonderful teachers to us, you know? Give us a chance to practice our patience. We're like, practice with our fear. We're like, oh no, there's this little thing that could never possibly hurt me on me. Ah! You know? It's gross, it's nasty, but it's not. It's, probably as clean as the dirt around, or, maybe cleaner than you, who knows? But because it's a bug, you might think, it's disease-ridden. Well, I mean, how many times have you become sick because of a bug on you? I mean, how many bugs have you had on you? You've probably never become sick from a bug. And maybe if you have, then, okay, it's interesting. What type of bug? And you can even say sickness is a bug, and that's cute. That's all right. So, resting into the perfection of the moment constantly. Saw 33 this morning, too. Really beautiful. Everything is always telling me I'm exactly where I need to be and showing me in different ways constantly. Like the other day when I had that complete craziness occur to show me that that was actually the most perfect thing that could possibly happen to me. Now that was insane. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking serious? How could that have been the most perfect thing? This reminds me, I wonder if I made some videos I didn't post yet. Anyways. So, yeah, that was amazing. Like, there was no way for me to see those things without that insaneness occurring. And it's pretty much just showing that constantly, that without the pain, you cannot understand the pleasure. And without the pleasure, you cannot understand the pain. You need both of them. And to rest in between them is like the grace zone, If you go too far over here in the pain realm, you'll bounce back and forth like, ah! You stay in the center, you're like, okay. You may feel all of it at the same time. Just hold center, like, oh, okay. Not attaching to one or the other, just being here. Powerful ceremonies can occur, powerful experiences. I like to bring people into medicine ceremony. I like to bring them into places with themselves where they can see themselves very quickly. This is huge for me. Of course, maybe not everybody can rapidly accelerate at this rate. I happen to be an ancient being that was able to do this because I've done breath work for so many lifetimes. I've been in service to everything for so many lifetimes. I've been a slave, I've been a servant, I've been downtrodden, I've been a person on the street, a beggar, I've been whatever, I've been the person that nobody could understand is anything but crazy, but channeling energy constantly for the benefit of everything, the most profound and amazing ways. And so now I wish to bring these amazing teachings to you now, in this day, and these days, and whichever day that I happen to come to you in video, and bring you into the breath work, bring you into the motion, bring you into the understanding of how to accelerate your energy in a really amazing fashion, how to understand the sea of consciousness, the waves of energy all around us. Why do they call it the sea of consciousness? Why not call it something else? Why do they call the great vehicles in Buddhism ships to float across the ocean of samsara into nirvana? What is that? Why is that? Well, you see, everything is very much like water. You could say that water is a lot like air. You could do that too. Gases, atoms, the way that they spin with one another, toroidal fields everywhere, whirlpools, You can see the amazing toroidal field in the whirlpool of water, and you can understand that actually that is here too, and it goes up into the firmament, How amazing, right? There's these amazing points where tons of tendrils, tubulars, centers of toroidal fields come out of and manifest the strings, the strands, the tapestry of reality. Now, this is a really amazing thing. This is something that can be proven through science, too. This is not something that is far-fetched or in some kind of weird metaphysical manner. This is something that we could measure if we were creating the machine sensitive enough to do this. It's possible that we are doing this, and that we're just simply not telling one another. You know, there's a thing about the freedom of information that doesn't seem to be happening. There's a competition, there's a fear, there's a protection, there's all kinds of hidden things going on. We're afraid. You know, that's why people hide things, because they're scared. If they were confident, they wouldn't hide anything. There'd be no reason. Wouldn't make any sense. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to use something against me? I'm confident that it's impossible to be against me, so go ahead and do your best. You could only be for me. If people understood wisdom, they would understand that, and it would be a lot less scary to share information. Wait, this person's going to take my information. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't have information. You're a channel of information. You move things through you. When you get an experience, you give it to the world, and that is how everybody expands in a really amazing way. What, are you afraid? Giving it to me, I'm going to accelerate faster than you? No, 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 no. I had to work for many years to get this information. I had to go through many things. I'm not just going to give you this shortcut. I'm not going to give you the key that I found. That's ridiculous. You must go and do it exactly as I have, and go through all the hardships that I have, because that's what I had to do. It's like, whoa, why did you even do it? I mean, you didn't do it so that you could help people not have to go through those things? That's crazy to me. I can't believe that. But that's okay. I mean, some people are this way. And it's a beautiful reflection for us that are learning to not be this way. We're like, whoa. Anybody who's very honest and very true and very pure and very innocent will see, man, that sucks. That's not fun. That's not the way. Come on. I mean, it is a way, and it is the way in a certain way, but I'm just saying that's not the way in which I wish to give to myself truly. It's not the way that I wish for energy to come back to me or from me or to me, however it is. That's amazing, you know, the different reflections, the balance of opposites, how we can hold on to such egoic states and judgments that we just can't possibly see. We play the victim so much, and we're like, no, 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 you must be the victim too if you want to become the hero as I. It's like, whoa, come on. Don't we want people to never be in the pain we've ever been in? Don't we want people to exist in great pleasure? Don't we wish for them to never have hardship? Isn't that something that we could wish for one another? And what about the ones that have had hardship? What about the ones that are in a terrible state of mind, that wish to kill people, that wish to be sad all the time, that wish to perpetuate suffering? Like, what an amazingly terrible mindset this must be. Have you ever felt angry? Tell me, do you enjoy feeling angry? I can tell you that I can actually enjoy feeling angry. I can actually enjoy feeling sad. I can actually enjoy feeling any of my emotions, but I don't judge them in any manner. So, sometimes, maybe I feel frustrated in some way, and I judge that frustration, and then it's not very fun for me. But is it an energy that I wish to take on and be all the time? Do I want to go around just angry? Ah! I mean, maybe if I were being an actor, which typically when I feel energies now, it kind of feels like I am, because I'm not very attached to them and I don't really worry about them, so I can be very dramatic and I can express them very strongly, and then can have a lot of fun with it, actually. Remember, I was feeling kind of disturbed, frustrated about a certain event that had happened in the past, and my friend came up, and he was a super channel as well, and he was able to express it with me, and it was a very fun time. It was fun. Sometimes it doesn't seem as fun, but that's what the moment calls for. And when I get moved through that emotion, through all the people in which I'm supposed to clear the energy for, I finally get to a situation that brings me to the other energy, and then that other energy brings me to a place where I'm like, yes, now I can see the whole purpose for that path, that all these people that I was in contact with needed me to be expressing this energy very, very strongly, very authentically, so that I could help them clear their energies and give them certain key codes through the natural expression of the moment. And I can see how we're all doing that constantly for one another, but we can come into the awareness and the realization of this, and then we can really start to more easily move things through, because we're still, a lot of us, clenching on channels, and that's okay. But it's to show us what happens when we let go of that clenching, you know. So you've been clenching channels for a long time, and when you finally release open one of those channels, you'll notice the difference. You'll be like, whoa, that was way different than 28, 30, 60 years of my life. Now it's like, boom, and I feel amazing, and I don't have any kind of issue with this, and this is phenomenal, and I'm like, what? And so it's to give us the contrast, to show us where we want to be. We want to hang out in the Goldilocks zone. We don't want to be like Mercury getting burnt by the sun. We don't want to be like Pluto, freezing ourselves to death. We want to be here in the middle. Well, perhaps when we're talking about distance, it's not extremely middle style, but we want to be in the Goldilocks zone. We want to be that proper distance away from the sun to where we have just the right amount of heat to sustain life, just the right amount of cold to give us that balance of the seasons, to give us the renewal of the spring and the summer, to bring us to fall and have the changing of the leaves. Now, some places, such as Maui, we don't get these amazing seasons coming through, not in such a large contrast to where we can tell them. I mean, it's kind of tough to tell what season it is actually until you look at the date. You're like, oh, okay. I mean, right now, what is it, October? It's hot outside. It's hot as balls. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. What a beautiful place to be. It's nice to not have the winter because, it gives you a relaxing all year round. Don't have to huddle in, you can be outside all the time, which was perfect for me personally because I'm not really into being a slave to anybody at this time. I'm not really into being governed by people and their rules where they would like to suppress my expression to the manner in which they themselves suppress their own. And that typically happens, especially during medicine ceremonies with people, all kinds of things. You want to be finding a shaman that's really completely opened their entire expression, and if they haven't done that, then good luck, Perhaps you haven't opened a lot of your expression, and so you can actually open quite a bit of expression with that person. But on the other hand, have opened a lot of my expression, and so typically when I'm around a medicine ceremony situation, it feels more like a suppression than an opening, expansive expression. But I'm a pretty good weaver. I can